I feel like I had a lot of weaknesses. Like I look back and I'm like, ooh, I didn't like how I did that turn, or like I just looked a little awkward and my stance was a little narrow. I feel like I think my biggest weakness as a rookie was the confidence. You know, coming in as a teenager and not really feeling super comfortable in my own skin, and like knowing my place on the tour and traveling to places I'd never been before and figuring it out and dealing with all the pressure and stuff. I think that that was tricky my rookie year. And for me, I feel like I definitely am such an emotional surfer that if like I'm not feeling good between the ears, I think it really translates into the lines that I draw. And so I feel like when I watch myself surf at that time, I feel like I can really tell that maybe I wasn't as confident as I am now, or as comfortable as I am in my skin now.
Sure. I mean, but even that said, a third in your rookie season's amazing. So I'm going to force you to list at least one strength you had in your surfing as a rookie in 2010.
Thank you. No, I think a strength that I did have was my support crew. Like I had a really good team of people behind me, including my dad, who traveled with me a lot that year, but he'd really worked with me since I was a Grom until that first year on tour. And I think he brought a lot of like outside of the box thinking, you know, using coaches in different spots that were local to the area, I think really helped me adjust quickly and learn the spot more quickly. And it also helped me to build community wherever I went, which I didn't know was something that I was missing from growing up in Hawaii. Just that really strong sense of like love and community that helps me perform well. So he really helped me to like kind of figure out what those things were to finally find my feet in the wax, you know?
Well, I said you were modest. So as an objective observer of the tour at that time, I will say that, and fair, like when you were on, which was often, you surfed faster, stronger, and more progressive and with more style than any other surfer on the planet. Like it's just the truth. And, that is why I say, you know, like even amongst the elite rarefied atmosphere of every surfer that's ever qualified for the CT, there are still those surfers that pop out where you go, wow. I will follow up with the question though. If you, and you mentioned a little bit, if you fast forward to your last full season on the CT in 2023, and think about the competitive field then. Similar question, but did your relative strengths and maybe weaknesses change in relation to your peers during those 13 years? And what was it how would you answer that question if we were just talking about your last full year on tour?
I think what has been just so cool is just how the whole field of women surfers has really elevated. So there really are like no walk-through heats. You can't take anyone for granted. Everyone is pushing the level, both from a performance perspective and then from like strategic approach. I think everyone knows how to surf a heat really well now. And so I think that there was less of a gap the last, obviously, from when I started as a rookie to, I feel like the playing field is a lot more even for the performances. And so I think I'm very proud of, you know, I'm like more of a veteran now, and the last couple of years I was on tour, I feel like I was able to keep up with the young guns, you know. Life gets more complicated, I feel, as time goes on, and there's, you know, different layers of becoming a wife and starting my own foundation and just other interests. So it wasn't just, I think, I'm proud that with all that stuff, I was able to kind of like still find the motivation and enthusiasm and passion to like push myself in areas that, you know, I feel like those younger girls are so good in waves of consequence and like pushing themselves above the lip and doing more progressive maneuvers. And I still feel like there has been a drive in me to like, okay, like I gotta try. I gotta at least try, even if I fail, even if I'm not the best in that department. I think I'm really proud that I've been able to like get out there and at least go for it. And it's super cool to have the younger generation really push push us. It's really awesome.
Yeah. I mean, even on that topic too, like I was having a look at the CT calendar during your rookie season in 2010, and it was, Snapper Rocks, Bells Beach, Taranaki, DY, Sal Bartolo, Peniche, Middles in Puerto Rico, and Sunset Beach. And if you compare that to this season's schedule, and I think we have three of those waves are the same, Snapper, Bells, and Peniche. And funny enough, we're going back to New Zealand, but it's a different wave. But the point I was trying to kind of round on was that the CT that you started your career in, and the one really that you prepared for as a rookie, the one that predated your rookie season, it's kind of a wildly different place from a performance canvas standpoint. The women's CT schedule now regularly includes waves like Teohopu, Cloudbreak, and Pipeline, radically different, right, than the tour that you qualified for. And you're surfing in waves of consequence, to be fair, is really what propelled, I think, the evolution in women's surfing. And now you're rejoining a tour that not only has venues like these, but as you pointed out, it's populated by young surfers like Molly Picklum, Katie Simmers, Betty Lou, Caroline, others that have developed their entire approaches around these waves and the kind of surfing you need to succeed there. And I'm curious what you make of that too, just because it's almost two different worlds in a way that we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely know what I'm getting into, and it's a little bit intimidating, but at the same point, I think there's also like this humbleness that I feel like I've gained over the last couple years, being able to watch the girls come up and appreciate their surfing and be a fan. And I think just a sense of gratitude to be able to be a part of it and to be pushed, and also just this understanding and grace for myself that like over the last year and a half, I haven't had the time or capacity to really push myself in those areas that I would like to prepare for this season. But just hopefully just relying on my experience and my past time in those scenarios to push myself, and then to go into these knowing like, hey, like it is going to be a learning scenario again when we go to these events. And yeah, it's not going to look like what it has in the past, but just super grateful to be there, and also just for the opportunity to learn once again.